Now, I don't seek the presidency to strip this nation of its defenses or to abandon the cause of freedom around the world. I seek the presidency so that this nation will be strong enough to deter war and determined enough to encourage freedom. I ask your help and the help of all Americans so that an American president can tell Nikita Khrushchev, "You are wrong. Our children will not live under communism. Your children will live under freedom."
Simon & Schuster Audio presents Surrender is Not an Option, Defending America at the United Nations by John Bolton. Read by the author.
And this is why I say that Republicans must take off the gloves. This is why I say that this election is not one for the record books. This election is one for the history books. Americans have plenty tonight to be mad about, and Republicans have plenty to talk about. Let's get on with the job of winning this election. We'll never have a better chance, and we'll never face a clearer choice. Thank you.
Election night in 1964 found me at the local Goldwater for President headquarters in Catonsville, Maryland, just outside Baltimore. I had done volunteer campaign work there during the summer after the Republican convention and on weekends. Having obtained permission to be absent from high school on Election Day to hand out Goldwater leaflets at a nearby precinct, I was in Catonsville when Maryland's polls closed to await the national returns. Although Lyndon Johnson seemed to have a large lead going into the election, I remained optimistic that Barry Goldwater would run well and might even pull off an upset. So much for the early signs of a promising political career. Goldwater was crushed in what was then the worst presidential election defeat in American history. At the Catonsville office, which had become quite crowded, many of the adult volunteers, I was just about the only teenager there, were weeping, something I had never seen before in public. I was somewhat puzzled by this display of emotion, but I was more puzzled by the election results, which were going from bad to worse. Dean Birch, Goldwater's chairman of the Republican National Committee, said, "As the sun sets in the west, the Republican star will rise." I believed that for a while until it became ever more obvious that down was the only direction in which Goldwater was headed. It took weeks for the extent of the defeat to penetrate fully into...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?